Hello guys, welcome to Comics Unleashed. Today we are going to start a very big but very important saga of DC Comics' Darkseid War. But before starting Darkseid War, you should know about the origin of Darkseid, which will make it easier for you to understand the whole story. Every character in DC Comics has two origins, the first being its post-Crisis origin, which was after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the second being its New 52 origin, which was after Flashpoint. In this video, we will talk about both the origins of Darkseid because DC Comics has once again rebooted its New 52 origin, and they have started DC Rebirth, in which once again all the characters have been given post-Crisis origin. That's why it is very important for us to know the story of Darkseid, so let's start. Our story begins millions of years ago with the Source, a thing which was made entirely of energy and was responsible for the creation of life. Due to the energy of the Source, many superhuman beings were born who are called the Old Gods. The Old Gods were the purest form of human beings from the Source, and that is why they were extremely powerful. But due to an event named Ragnarok, their planet was completely destroyed, and due to the explosion in that event, a huge wave of cosmic energy spread throughout the universe. This energy left its divine power wherever it touched, and due to this, many smaller gods came into existence like Zeus, Ares, Apollo, Athena, and many other Greek gods. All of them were quite weak compared to the power of the old gods, but still they were much stronger than an ordinary human being. And when all this was happening, at the same time, from where that cosmic wave came out, which we will call God Wave, gave birth to two different planets at its center point, one of which was named the New Genesis. Lush green forests and flowing rivers. In other words, New Genesis was the heaven of this entire universe. On the other hand, the other planet was surrounded by fire and boiling lava everywhere. This planet looked like the hell of this universe, and that is why it was named Apokolips. The people living on these two planets were very powerful due to the God Wave, and that is why these people were named New Gods. The gods of New Genesis and Apokolips were always fighting each other, and due to this, there were frequent wars between the two planets. Our story begins from the planet New Genesis, where two gods were playing arm wrestling with each other, Isaiah and Drax. Isaiah was the supreme leader of New Genesis, whereas Drax was going to be the future leader of Apokolips. But these two are not that important to us. The most important character for us is Uxas, Drax's younger brother. Uxas, being Drax's younger brother, could not become the king of Apokolips, and he was not happy at all about this. Not only this, both Drax and Uxas had completely different opinions. Drax actually believed in maintaining peace with New Genesis rather than war. According to him, if his friendship with King Isaiah of New Genesis continues, then together they could set a very good example for the coming generation and could stop the war between those two planets forever. But Uxas did not agree with this at all, and due to this there was no harmony between the two brothers. To become the ruler of Apokolips, one had to consume an energy called Omega Force. Omega Force was actually a very powerful energy present inside planet Apokolips which no normal human could absorb. Drax made a suit for himself with the help of which he could channel the entire Omega Force into his body. After wearing that suit, Drax entered the Infinity Pit, but he had no idea that the suit he was wearing was made for him by Uxas. After landing in the Infinity Pit, Drax started absorbing the Omega Force. But due to the suit being damaged, all the energy started going directly into his body. And Drax was not so powerful that he could survive after absorbing so much Omega Force. Taking advantage of this, his brother Uxas jumps into the Infinity Pit. Drax thought that Uxas has come to help him, but as soon as Drax extends his hand towards him, Uxas starts absorbing the Omega Force present in his body. Then Drax realized that Uxas had also made a special suit for himself, with the help of which he could channel the entire Omega Force into his own body instead of Drax. Drax dies in this accident, and after absorbing all the Omega Force, Uxas becomes the new god of planet Apokolips and names himself Darkseid. Now let's talk about the new origin of Darkseid, which happened after Flashpoint. In this story, Uxas was a poor farmer who lived in a world where the gods did not take care of the people at all. In fact, the gods there used to kill ordinary people for their own pleasure, and Uxas was not at all happy about this. One day, fed up with all their antics, Uxas climbs the mountain of those gods. Seeing all the gods present there sleeping, Uxas comes up with a plan. He starts provoking all those gods against each other, due to which they all start fighting among themselves and start killing each other one by one. Seeing a god dying in front of him, Uxas kills him and absorbs his power. Similarly, after killing all the remaining gods, he absorbs all their powers. This is how Darkseid is born. But before dying, a god present there gives all his powers to a common man named Isaiah. And similarly, Isaiah transforms into another god named Highfather. In the New 52 universe, Isaiah rules over New Genesis while Darkseid rules over planet Apokolips. About once a year, these two planets come face to face with each other, and as soon as they come face to face, a terrible war breaks out between the two planets. But this time, just before this happens, a god named Metron comes to Darkseid. Metron was actually the god of knowledge who was aware of every big and small event in this entire multiverse. He comes to Darkseid and gives him an idea with the help of which Darkseid could easily rule this entire universe. He tells both Highfather and Darkseid that if they both want to stop this war, then they should exchange each other's sons so that they will not fight each other. After listening to Metron for a long time, they both agree to this agreement. Highfather sends his son Scott to Darkseid, while Darkseid sends his son Orion to Highfather. But while Highfather raised Darkseid's son Orion like his own son, Darkseid made Highfather's son Scott go through the worst torture of Apokolips. After enduring this torture for a few years, Scott was able to escape from Apokolips, and that is why he was called Scott-Free. But you guys might be wondering, what is Scott-Free's connection with our story? Scott-Free is actually very important for Darkseid War, and I will tell you why when we will start Darkseid War. Let us talk about Metron for now. Metron was actually the god of knowledge, as I have already told you all, and he used to observe all the events sitting on his Mobius chair. Mobius chair was actually made by Mobius, and Mobius was a scientist who wanted to capture all the information of this entire multiverse in his mind, but no one knew where he was at this time. Metron goes to Earth 3 sitting on his Mobius chair, Earth 3, where Anti-Monitor was. He goes to Anti-Monitor and offers to help him, but in return, Anti-Monitor attacks him. Anti-Monitor's attack had no effect on Metron. Metron told the Anti-Monitor that during Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Anti-Monitor has already messed up the reality of this whole world once before, and after Flashpoint, the whole reality was once again entangled. And this time, if the Anti-Monitor tampers with reality, then he will have to deal with Darkseid. Anti-Monitor puts on his mask and tells Metron that he has a plan to fight Darkseid, and that is why he is going to Earth 1. So that's all for today, guys. From next video, we'll start Darkseid War. So stay tuned and please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.